Hello friends and Merry Christmas. My name is Kim and welcome to today's video. This video is going to be wrapping up my vlogmas series, and it's going to be a combination of Christmas Eve and today, Christmas Day. I hope all of you are having a wonderful little Christmas and finding joy in your day and in Christmas Eve. I have a couple of things to show you. We're going to finish opening up our advent calendars. I have some crochet, or actually Tunisian crochet, to show you, and regular crochet. And I want to show you a couple of things that my husband decided to surprise me with, even though we were not buying each other presents. So let's dive right in. So I guess I'm going to start off with the whips I'm working on in the finished object. I showed my little sample of my basic Tunisian stitch the other day, and it actually dried, and so now it's in a frame. So this is one of the little frames that my brother-in-law gave me. I made my sample a little bit too short, so it's kind of hard to stretch it out. And when I did, it kind of put it wonky looking, but it's fine. But that's going to go in the yarn barn. I still think it's cute, framed up. So that's the first thing. And then my other finished object will be, I finished the tile that I was working on. And this is tile, I think it's 21, and it's tile called Daisy. I believe it's the name of it. Daisy Girl. It's that one. Now originally the colors I had picked out were not, they looked really great together, but when you put them together, the Miss Babs skein that had the yellow in it had a lot more purple than I originally planned for, and it like just lost the pattern completely. So I did rip back all the way to the third row and brought in a fourth color. I did not do the final trim on it just because I don't want to. So I'm not gonna do it. But I just kind of wanted the flower itself to kind of pop, and in the middle. And I think I've kind of achieved that. Now all my ends are woven in. I just haven't soaked it and blocked it yet. And let that really open up, and it's going to look a lot better. But this is my tile. So you see that teal in the center was the Kim Dye's yarn, as well as around the edges of the flower. This white is some Miss Babs, or it's Malintosh sock and gray out. I can't remember. It was just like a little bit of scraps I had left. I think I had 6 grams. But I only used 1 gram. So that purple is actually Cascade Heritage Sock Yarn, and it's in the colorway Eggplant. And then this yellow multicolor is some Miss Babs Kira, and in the color Masquerade. But I really actually like how it turned out. I like how it just kind of, it's blendy. It does get kind of muddled in a way, but I kind of like it like that. I think once I get it wet blocked and then snip my ends, I'm going to like it even more. But it was a fun little square. I just got tired of doing it, so I don't want to do the final trim. But I did start on something else. Now, I'm supposed to be starting on a Stephen West shawl today. Part of the Hybrid Knit Along, which I bought yarn for. I bought Miss Babs yarn for. But to be honest, I'm probably not going to start it. And it's not because I don't want to knit it, because I think it's really pretty. But I think I just want to focus on smaller, quick kit projects and not get into anything big, just because I know it's coming in a couple of weeks, and I know that that's going to absorb all my attention for the most part, besides quick things. So I don't want to get into something new and then feel, what's the word I'm looking for? Indebted in a way to a project. I don't want to be owned by my project. I want to have free time to spend on something else. So I'm just working on making those little swatches for the frames of the she shed. Not going to do every one of them in Tunisian crochet. I'm probably just going to do a couple, and then I'll pull in some regular crochet swatches. And then I may do like even a motif or something in knitting for 1 or 2 of the frames. So that way I'll kind of have all of the crafts represented in the art wall when I get done with all of them. Because I have 12 frames to fill up. And I just think that'd be super cute and add a little bit of me and my personality to the, well, obviously the whole thing's going to be me, but even more of me. But in saying that, one of the things that my husband surprised me with is the Tunisian Crochet Basic Textured Stitches Volume 1. So this is a book by Petra Thornack Zimmerman, and it says the Tunisian crochet technique is very popular with a lot of crocheters. In addition to the basic stitch, there are a variety of patterns with an interesting surface. Many of them look like they are knitted. Learn the basics of this technique in the introductory part and further explore a lot of possible stitch combinations. All patterns are explained in detail. Pictures show where to insert the crochet hook. In addition, each stitch pattern is given in a clear crochet diagram. Basically, it just gives you a picture of the stitch. It's almost like a stitch dictionary. It talks about the stitch in a little small detail. Then it gives you the written instructions, but more importantly, it gives you the charted instructions. So as you're reading the instructions, you can look at the chart and you can kind of see how they're formed. Now, since I did that basic stitch, I'm moving on to more advanced stitches. So the whole book is set up where at first it goes over your materials, abbreviations, it goes over how to find the bars and the basic stitch technique. It goes over how to cast on the right number of stitches, how to do decreases, how to do increases, how to bind off, and then it starts you on the stitches, the different stitch. So number 1 is the simple Tunisian stitch, abbreviated TSS. So all the other patterns that use that to make and form their other stitches, basically like a knit or a single crochet, instead of writing out that thing, you'll just see TSS and you know that's the basic Tunisian stitch, which is probably going to be the most important thing to get under your tool belt. So that's what I did first in this frame, and it is very easy. So once you get that down, it has you move to different stitches of different degree of challenge. There's even goes over how to do the purl stitch, how to do colored pinstripes, how to do seed stitch. I mean, you name it. I am skipping all the way over to number 20 because I want this to be one of my samples in my frame because I just think it's really pretty. And that's an alternating cross stitch, which is that right there. So that is what I'm starting on. And I started on it like 10 minutes ago. And I've got done with the first 2 rows. So you can't really see that much. But this is that same teal that I used. And the reason, because it was right there in the living room. But this one is going to go in a 5x7 frame just because I love this color. And I think that stitch is going to look really pretty in this size of a swatch in that frame. So that is the correct project. This book is actually one of 3 that you can get, and I'll link them down below. And they are only $10, which is a pretty good deal. This thing has a total of, it's got a lot. It's got 50 different stitches to learn just in the first book for $10. So that's like a really good deal when you break it down. And then it has the pattern for an infinity scarf that you can make utilizing what you learned. And there's the picture of the infinity scarf that teaches you how to make. I've had this one and the other 2 on my wish list, as well as a few other things. And apparently he went shopping on my Amazon wish list because I already bought the Knit Pro version Tunisian hooks in the natural color just because they were the cheapest ones I could find when I was buying them around Black Friday. But my man surprised me with the Knitter's Pride Dreamz crochet hooks. And these are a little bit more expensive, so I'm actually returning my other ones to save money and keeping the ones he bought me. But they are very pretty. Also, the reason I'm keeping these over the other ones is because looking at the head of the Dreamz is the slightest bit pointier than the head of the Knit Pro Naturals. And that matters because when you are doing Tunisian, you're not working on the top of the front and back loop. You're actually working on this little bitty bar that pulls up. Let's see if I can snap one and show you. You're working on this bar that goes along the front of your work. And so the little bit point of your head makes it just a little bit easier to get those bars up and get your stitches in them. But this set's really nice. It comes with 8 Tunisian hooks, which, you know, one of them is currently in my project. And it comes with the yellow cable, which is the smallest 16-inch. The red is 24 inches, and the orange, I think, is 32. You get lots of end caps. You get a couple of tightening rods in each end cap pack, plus you get a tightening rod and extenders in the whole kit. I like Knitter's Pride because I already have a lot of Knitter's Pride products. I have a lot of their knitting needles over there, and all these cables are interchangeable, so I can use even my other cables that are already on to these and make even these really long hooks for doing afghans if I wanted to. Which the Knit Pro is the same way. The Knit Pro and again the Knitter's Pride are the same company, just one's European and one's American. But I just kind of like the head on the Dreamz a little bit better. Personally, I think the wood on the Naturals is a little less grabby than the Dreamz, but it's just something I'm having to adjust my attention to, and it's not a big deal. I had mentioned when I went to Lowe's the other day that they had this really cute lamp that I showed in one of my vlogmases, and my husband, day before yesterday, was like, I need to go get a couple more blinds cut, because I told y'all that we bought all those blinds for the house. And I'm like, okay. Little did I know that he also bought me my lamp. So he had this wrapped and snuck it in for me. And it's absolutely adorable. It's so, look at the little palms. That is going to be so cute in my yarn barn. And it's white. I was super shocked to see that. My wee child recently did a room clean out, and he decided that he wanted to let go of something, and he said, I can have it. Which, I know it sounds crazy. I'm like, yes, I got something from my child's room. But he's given me his little refrigerator. This is an actual little Frigidaire refrigerator, and these things, they don't keep things like super cold, but they keep them cool and cold. So it has a little shelf, and it has this power cord, and there's even a power cord for a cigarette lighter. But like I said, it doesn't keep things super, super cold, but I'm hoping it keeps things cold enough like my creamer, so I can keep like a small ball of creamer out in the yarn barn. If not, just put a couple ball of waters in here at all times to keep kind of cool when I'm out there. But I'm gonna clean it up because it's a little dusty. But I was like excited that he gave me that. He says that was my Christmas present. I'm actually going to be adding some footage of a walkthrough of one of my Fallout camps because I love playing video games. And I love building in Fallout. Fallout 76 is the one I play with my husband every day. But I have actually been on some Twitch channels and other gaming channels for my builds, my houses I build, because they interviewed me, which is kind of crazy. But I'm going to show off one of my current Christmas camp to show you guys, because I've gotten so many random messages from people on Xbox telling me how it's cool, and it is pretty, and so I thought I'd share it with you guys. So I think now we're going to go ahead and open up the remainder of the Advents. And then I have a surprise at the end. Or I may stick it in the middle. You just may need to watch so you don't miss it. It's starting with Stitchmas, the Hobby Lobby Advent, the 12 days of Stitchmas. I'm going to open our last bag because I didn't open these yesterday because I wanted a little surprise to open up today. So day 12, also my bag's ripping. So day 12 we get this, I'm guessing this is what they're considering stationery. It's like a pencil holder, but it's very cute. I can't say that it's exactly 100% Christmassy. Like I would definitely leave this out year long because it's just like a Fair Isle pattern. And it has yarn balls on it. I know that's kind of snowflakes, but I'm probably going to leave this out year long and keep pencils and pens on my desk in it. It's very pretty. Also, today's thing was this little bitty notepad, and it has Hobby Lobby and a snow globe, a shopping cart, sleigh with yarn balls, and it says, I'd rather be wandering the yarn aisle. And it also comes with a cute little pin that has knitting stitch snowflakes on it. Super, super cute. Really, really, really loved the Hobby Lobby Advent calendar. I was kind of surprised. It was the last minute calendar that I got. The one I did not expect to have great love for, but I really enjoyed opening it. I love the variety of items that it had in it, and that it wasn't just all yarn. And I understand that makes it something that not a lot of other people love. I mean, they can't please everyone, but I think they did a really good job on it. Now, after opening it and seeing what's all in there, would I pay full price for it next year? And the answer is no. I would not pay $150 for this Advent calendar. I do think it's cute. I do appreciate that they gave you the kit for the nativity scene, the kit for the garland, and the kit for the wall hanging. However, I do think that those are about $25 to $30 a piece. Kits, maybe $40. At $30 though, that's only $90. So that still gives you $60 of spending stuff. So do I think the other stuff in the calendar equals $60? Not really. They did give this. I mean, granted, I would put a retail price of probably $10 to $12 on it, maybe $14, because it's probably just a bamboo mass-produced thing, which, I mean, all of this stuff is. The ornaments, you have to think around $7 for that ornament. And then you had the washi, the cards. I wouldn't have bought those because I don't ever really send out cards. The wrapping paper, I wouldn't have bought the wrapping paper. We actually just buy wrapping paper when it's on clearance for $1 and just use that because I don't want to spend more money on decorative wrapping paper because it's just going to be thrown away and wind up in a landfill and destroy our world. So I don't understand that process. I do appreciate the notepad. I appreciate the fact that it's magnetic, but that's not something that I would just be like thrilled over. It did have the necklace and earrings set in it, which was super cute. But if you're someone like me who doesn't really wear jewelry, like, I don't know if you noticed, the watch is literally the only piece of jewelry I wear. Occasionally I wear those sports bands for a wedding ring, but that's about it. And most of the time I don't even wear that, just because with all the hand sanitizing from all the germs and everything and washing my hands so much, that stuff gets caught up under my ring and it causes my skin to go crazy. I haven't worn earrings in probably 11 years. I'm just not a jewelry person. So how much would I pay for this Advent calendar? I would probably pay, I think around maybe $99, maybe $75. I would probably consider it. The fact that I got it at $45, if I see that again next year, yeah, I'm jumping on that the first time I see that. but I don't think I'm probably going to jump on it when it's full price. So for me next year, for me to buy another one of these, it's going to have to at least be 40% off. That should put it around $66 or 60 something dollars if it's $150, but preferably 50% off to the 60-70%, which is what I paid to get it to 44 or 45. But that's just my personal outcome. I would love to know what you would think. Would you pay the full retail price of $150? So now let's look at the Jimmy Beans Craftvent. So today, the 24th. Well, it actually been yesterday, the 24th. You get wool wash and a darning needle. It really seems like they should have done a little bit something on that last day. I would have been probably a little sad if this was the only advent calendar I had and I open this up for day 24 and I get a $1 sample of wool wash and a darning needle that is very, very blunt. And it's really hard to use this on anything below a DK weight. Trust me, I have some. So yeah, considering the Jimmy Beans advent calendar is actually the same retail price as the Hobby Lobby Stitchmas calendar, I don't know, which one do you think is a better deal? Personally, even though it was very, very redundant, the fact that I'm getting indie dyed yarn, I kind of want to say the Jimmy Beans. However, because the way the yarn is given to you and the increments that is given to you, you're probably still cheaper just buying full skeins of yarn and then just finding similar patterns online for free. But it is a fun little advent. It was just kind of odd to me. And the opening of the same color yarns every day kind of was not very joyful of a process because you know what you're going to get. Now granted, you have the pattern print off that came out, but when you print it off, you're going to see all the patterns that you're getting and that you're going to make. So it would actually make more sense to me if they put like the pattern for that day inside the box with the yarn. So that way, it'd at least be a surprise of what you're making instead of just printing it all off at one time and then seeing it, because you're going to see it when you print it off. I don't know. I'm on the fence on the Craftvent, but this is the first time I've ever done the Craftvent. So I didn't really know what to expect. And to be honest, it's probably not going to be something I'm going to do again. I love Jimmy Beans. I love Malintosh yarn. But I'd rather just have the yarn so I can make whatever I want and not be tied to a project. Because again, the yarn's already cut for you in certain increments. And that would be a lot of ends to weave in to try to use all this yarn for a different project. Because some of these came with like really small grams. But it was still a very fun kit to play with. I did appreciate the snips from that Jimmy Beans Advent because I do enjoy the Delicube products. So I thought that was a very nice touch. I do love the fact that I got the black one. I wonder if they gave it all different colors because my maker's bag is actually in this color. Although all of their bags have a yarn cutting tool made into them. It's basically like a dental floss tool. And if you want to know more about that, you can check out one of the reviews I did on their maker's canvas bags. I have 2 or 3 videos on my channel up under product reviews. I'll go ahead and link that here for you. I also love the box. I think that was a really cute way to do an advent calendar because it can be reused. So when I complete these little different ornaments as this year progresses, because I'm going to be making this, I can actually save the box. And then I can actually have my husband or kids put different minis that I grab in there in any order, and I can use that for another surprise. For example, let's say I bought 24 minis, or I bought 2 sets of 12 from different indie dyers, and then I put them in front of my kids and say, hey, I'm stepping out of the room, place one in each box. They come and do that. And then that Advent season, I'll open the drawer every day. And then no matter what color I come to, that's the order that I use to make one of the patterns that I actually put in my blog post. And just let it be a random thing, kind of dictated by your kids. I mean, I think that would be a really fun concept and way to do Advent. Plus, it makes this memory for you of your children, you know, kind of setting that up for you. So I think that's kind of cool. As far as my Molly designs, Advent, we're going to go ahead and open up yesterday's, which is day 24, and then today's number 25 skein, full skein. I'm very curious if the full skein is going to be a speckle die or if it's going to be a tonal that I can use to pull all of these minis from her calendar together. And this is something that I absolutely love. I would buy a whole skein of this. So it's got gorgeous yellows and purples. It is really, really pretty. Like very, very pretty. And the full skein says, Day 25, Merry Christmas, Happy Knitting, Love Molly and Family. And again, this was last year's Advent. Okay, so it came with a candy cane, which I'll be indulging in later. And it says Sweet Tea Yarns, which is her yarn dyeing business. Molly Klein Design, Sweet Sock. This is 75% superwash merino, 25% nylon, 100 grams, 460 yards. And this is called Snow Globe. This colorway is absolutely stunning. And the fact that she put a stitch marker on here that matches it, I can really appreciate. But I'm very confused, and you see the stitch marker. The ability to tie this in with the rest of the Advent calendar. Like, I think this is a great standalone skein, which is probably going to be how I use it. And then I'll just use all the minis and get like a solid tonal, maybe from her, to use them. Because there's some colors that I wouldn't really pair with this. Like that. I mean, that's not bad. But this is absolutely gorgeous. This is definitely pretty. And I do love that she gave a little snow globe stitch marker to go with it. Now let's look at the Emma's yarn. So on Emma's yarn, day 24 is the only one I have left that was wrapped, because I accidentally opened day 25's last year. So this is a pinkish purple. This is very, very pretty. And then day 25 is this really pretty red and pink. So now comparing Emma's yarn and the Molly Klein Sweet Tea Yarns Advents. There was a decent amount of price difference as far as total cost. With the Molly, I did get that one big skein. So I got 24 minis plus a full skein. And the Emma's yarn, I just got 25 minis. But I do love how the Emma's yarn was dyed up. I think it's just absolutely gorgeous dyed yarn. And I love all the colors that were used. With the Emma's yarn, I also got extras. So I got the bag that held it all. I got the lotion bar, which is a full-size lotion bar. And these, I think, retail around $19 or $20. And plus, from the yarn store I purchased it from, I was able to get coupons to use on a later purchase and the Christmas stitch markers as part of a thank you for getting it there. Which one do I like more? It's tough because, you know, they're very different. I love that big skein, but I do love the die technique on the image yarn. This is very similar to Homespun House Molly's dyeing, and that's probably why I'm pulled to it more. And I think the Sweet Tea Yarns Molly's is really pretty too. There's a couple of skeins that are more neonish, which are not typically my colors, and that would be my only hindrance from that. But I think they're both really, really, really nice advents. So I do love that her yarns also make a gradient to use with a project, and they're all cohesive dyed yarns. I kind of feel like the Molly Klein design yarns are a little bit more sporadic in color, and I'm not sure how well they play with that final full skein of yarn. So it's almost like you're getting Advent and then you're just getting a bonus skein. But I would also like to know, which one do you think is better? Would you pay the $200 for the Emma? Or would you pay the $240 for the Molly design yarn and get the bigger skein, knowing what you know now about their dye techniques? It's a pretty hard decision. I mean, again, they're both great advent calendars, but I just really love the image on it. And please understand that I'm you know, not trying to be nitpicky or anything, but I do want to give my honest review on these. And I'm even a Jimmy Bean affiliate, so I'm just being honest. But I did want to show you something about the Jimmy Bean's darning needles that they send out with their products. These are not my favorite darning needles. These are very, very blunt tipped. So the tips are very rounded off, and you can see it's kind of thicker. So my favorite darning needles are bit tips, and they worked really well for crochet and darning for knit because of their bit tips. It's also a little bit skinnier point. So you can see the difference. It's a little bit pointier and smaller. It kind of tapers at the edge. And it just makes it easier to get in under your stitches. So that's why I suggest these. So now let's finish up with the David's Tea. So this one ends on yesterday, day 24. It was the last one that we have tea left in, I think. Apparently I never pulled day 9 out of here. I don't know why. Make sure I got them all. Okay. Day 24, they put in a gold box because it's like the magic ticket. And day 24 tea is Sleigh Ride, which is another great seasonal tea. I really enjoyed the David's Tea Advents that I do every year. It's not a shocker to me. They do tell you all the teas on the back, as well as the calories per tea if you're interested in trying this one next year. I think we actually ordered this off Amazon. It was a little bit cheaper than ordering it straight from David's Tea because the shipping from David's Tea is about $10 unless you meet their price point, which is around, I think, $100. And that's a lot to pay for some tea. But we think we're able to get this for like $29 or $35 off of Amazon shipped, which is not bad at all, I don't think, for 24 cups of tea. I will say, though, that the way the tea used to come in the small tins made this much more of a deal because you had the little tins you can reuse for your project keepers and stitch markers and other little small crafting supplies, and now they just send them in those packs, which is waste. And this box, you know, I'm not really sure how you can reuse these because they're just little paper, but I may try to think of something fun to do with that. So looking at the Bonnie Jelly calendar, this thing is pretty much trashed at this point. There's only one jelly left in here. And that is Chestnut Orange Christmas Spice Thread. That is a lot to say, friends. And it looks like it's apple butter. That's what it looks like in the thing. So this whole thing becomes waste, but I do love the glass jars. And I think that really adds to the value of the Bonnie calendar because you can definitely reuse those jars. And they're, you know, about the size of a small shot glass. So they're great for storage. And they're super cute because they're little mason jars. So last but not least is the Coffee Wars. But before we get into that, let's talk about the little surprise I have for you guys. So in my Stitchmas calendar was this earring and necklace set. And as cute as it is, I know I'm never going to wear it. Because again, I'm not a jewelry person. So I would like to offer this up as a giveaway to you guys, my viewers. So to be eligible to win this cute set, which is the necklace and the earrings. The necklace says Yarnologist. And the earrings have little yarn balls on them. All you have to do is be a subscriber to this channel. It would be super cool if you shared this video out. Give this video a thumbs up. And then in the comment below, leave me a comment telling me the keyword. And the keyword is going to be yarny. So use yarny in a sentence down below to be eligible to win. This is only going to be open to the United States, USA. And then I will go in and do a random comment selector sometime in the upcoming weeks and draw for a winner. A great value advent calendar, the one that has made me so happy, and the one I bought another one of that's already in the kitchen just to open up later on. Christmas Eve coffee was creme brulee. Or Keurig. I bet they don't even put a Christmas flavor in at the end. Oh, wow. Look at them. They actually did. Caribou Reindeer Blend Cherry Dark Roast. Looking at these two calendars, I think it's pretty obvious which one I would definitely buy again because I already have. The only thing the Keurig has going for it is the fact that it has coffee in the box. That's about it. And then it's a cute scene. I mean, it is a very Christmassy scene to look at. And then they're put in order. You don't have to search for them. That's all it has. That's all the joy it gave me. Other than that, not really. I won't be buying this next year. I'll be saving my $20 and probably just buying two of the great value. If they have it. So that is all I have for today's Advent unboxing and a little surprise for you guys. I really do hope you all have a wonderful, wonderful Christmas. Next week we will be drawing the winner for the crochet book someday. I'm not sure what day. And I really have my Hobie Black Friday yarn that I haven't even finished opening yet and recorded. So I'll be doing that. Plus, I actually won something. And I want to open that with you guys because I have not even peeped in. Like, this literally just came in a box. And I took it out of the box. And it's just been like this since the 1st of November. And I have not even had a chance to look into it. So we're going to dive into this soon together and see what is all in the bag that I won. But I hope you all have a great day. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for being part of my community. And Merry Christmas. So like I said, we don't get snow, we get ice. Because it's so warm and it's always so humid that it just freezes everything when it gets cold. So today is December 24th. It's 4:29 p.m. It's outside 26 degrees, but the feels like temperature because of humidity and the wind chill is 18 degrees. And this is where it was so cold, so fast. It literally pushed the water out of the ground, and it makes these ice crystals pop up from the ground. And they are simply amazing. Hello friends, and Merry Christmas. Welcome to today's video. This video is going to be a combination of New Year's Eve and it's not even New Year.